Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome again. Today the Lord gave me Jeremiah 42, and it says, Then all the army officers, including Johanan, son of Kari, and Jezaniah, son of Hoshaiah, and all the people, from the least to the greatest, approached Jeremiah the prophet and said to him, Please hear our petition and pray to the Lord your God for this entire remnant, for as you now see, though we were once many, now only a few are left. Pray to the Lord your God. Pray that the Lord your God will tell us where we should go and what we should do. I have heard you, replied Jeremiah the prophet. I will certainly pray to the Lord your God. As you have requested, I will tell you everything the Lord says, and will keep nothing back from you. Then they say to Jeremiah, May the Lord be a true and faithful witness against us, if we do not act in accordance with everything the Lord your God sent you to tell us, whether it is favorable or unfavorable. We will obey the Lord our God, to whom we are sending you, so that it will go well with us, for we will obey the Lord our God. 10 days later, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. So he called together Johanan, son of Kari, and all the army officers who were with him, and all the people, from the least to the greatest. He said to them, This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, to whom you sent me to present your petition, says. If you stay in this land, I will build you up and not tear you down. I will plant you and not uproot you, for I have relented concerning the disaster I have inflicted on you. Do not be afraid of the king of Babylon, whom you now fear. Do not be afraid of him, declares the Lord, for I am with you, and will save you and deliver you from his hand. I will show you compassion, so that he will have compassion on you and restore you to your land. However, if you say, We will not stay in this land, and so disobey the Lord your God, and if you say, No, we will go and live in Egypt, where we will not see war, or hear the trumpets, or be hungry for bread, then hear the word of the Lord, you remnant of Judah. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. If you are determined to go to Egypt, and you do go to settle there, then the sword you fear will overtake you there, and the famine you dread will follow you into Egypt, and there you will die. Indeed, all who are determined to go to Egypt to settle there will die by the sword, famine, and plague. Not one of them will survive or escape the disaster I will bring on them. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. As my anger and wrath have been poured out on those who live in Jerusalem, so will my wrath be poured out on you when you go to Egypt. You will be a curse and an object of horror, a curse and an object of reproach. You will never see this place again. Remnant of Judah, the Lord has told you, do not go to Egypt. Be sure of this. I warn you today that you made a fatal mistake when you sent me to the Lord your God and said, Pray to the Lord our God for us. Tell us everything he says, and we will do it. I have told you today, but you still have not obeyed the Lord your God in all he sent me to tell you. So now be sure of this. You will die by the sword, famine, and plague in the place where you want to go and settle. Now this is a very clear message this morning from the Lord. The people who were, the remnant who were left when King Nebuchadnezzar invaded Jerusalem, and when they killed Gedaliah, These people went to Jeremiah and asked Jeremiah to pray to God for them and tell them exactly what God tell Jeremiah, so they will do exactly what God will tell them to do. And whether it's favorable or unfavorable, and they say we will obey, so it will go well with us. And God sent his message to them. God sent his message telling them to remain in the place where they are, and he will take care of them, he will defend them, he will protect them. But if they disobey and go to Egypt, there will be consequences for their disobedience. This is a warning that God have been giving each one of us for years, and given to his people, to the church. If you obey and walk according to my statutes, according to my law, it shall go well with you. But if you disobey, there will be consequences to your disobedience. There will be consequences, and the consequences are not good. And there are people who still didn't listen, still continue doing what they wanted to do. As these people, Jeremiah was speaking to the remnant, and Jeremiah told them, you make a fatal mistake when you told me to go to God and ask him what you should do, and you still did not do what he have sent you to do. And be sure that there will be consequences for your disobedience. What you fear will follow. And this is what the Lord is telling us this morning. Those who have been disobedient to him, those who refuse to walk in his will, do what is right, there will be consequences for them. They will suffer the consequences. God will not spare them from the consequences of their misbehavior, for what they have done. They will suffer the consequences of their disobedience. And this is a clear message the Lord wants to send this morning to each one of the people who have walked in disobedience. There are always consequences for being disobedient. God warned us over and over again to walk in obedience, to do his will. And once we are doing God's will, it will always go well with us. It doesn't mean that we will not go to trial and tribulation, because that is to build our character. But it will be always good with us, because God is with us through all those processes. But once people decide that they don't want to do God's will, want to do their own thing and walk in disobedience, and expect God to spare them from the consequences, and expect God to be there no matter what, it doesn't work like that. God is saying that there will be consequences for disobedience, and in this case, God is telling them, the same way I pour out my wrath on Jerusalem, the same way I will pour out my wrath on you when you go to Egypt. The same way he is angry with those who are in the world, are not walking in his will. His own people will suffer the same consequences of those who are walking in disobedience, because that is what God is, a God of justice. He speaks and he warns. He speaks and he warns before things happen. But there are people so stubborn that they don't want to do God's will. They want to do their own will and expect God to still be good to them and spare them from all bad things. No. You have choose to do wrong. You have choose to walk in a way of evil and wickedness and disobedience. So the consequences that come with all this will come upon you, and God will not spare them from that. And this is what the Lord wanted me to share with you this morning. So if you are walking in obedience, it shall be well with you, because God is with you and God will protect you. But for those who have not listened, walking in disobedience, they will suffer the consequences of their disobedience, and it's not good. So God bless you. and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.